Hello and welcome to Season 3, Episode 3 of the Helping Children Learn podcast right here at the Carbon Lehigh Intermediate Unit number 21, servicing students, schools, and teachers in the Carbon and Lehigh County areas here in eastern Pennsylvania. Now, today's episode is about something extremely exciting in the world of early intervention. That sect of special education is for our youngest learners, ages 3, 4, and 5 years old. We are recording today on site at the brand new, first time ever, Whitehall-Coplay Early Learning Center. And what that is all of these early intervention services that you would find across the Lehigh Valley in different buildings and at different schools. We're bringing them all to one place so that we have a much more congruent experience for our youngest students and, of course, their families. And I'm joined here today by IU Supervisor Rebecca DeFeo, who really has brought all of this together. And then, of course, we couldn't do this without the cooperation and support of the Whitehall-Coplay School District. So we are joined here today by Superintendent Dr. Robert Steckel. Thank you both so much for coming on. How are we today?
Doing great. Yeah.
Good, yourself?
So the Whitehall-Coplay Early Learning Center, Rebecca, I'm going to ask you to kind of define what is the Whitehall-Coplay Early Learning Center.
It is a nice big center for early intervention. We have 11 classrooms and a ton of itinerant spaces. We have playgroups that occur throughout the day and throughout the week. It's bringing together just all the different programming that we provide for our early intervention young learners.
Now, Dr. Steckel, this used to be the old Gockley Elementary. There's a brand new one built just right down the road, but you could have made this building into anything. What was the thought behind collaborating, maybe inviting us to be here instead of, making this something else or just demolishing the building altogether?
So I think this goes back to a lot of the work that we did in the school district with evaluating some of the higher performing jurisdictions across the globe. And you see a lot of countries that really excel in education, all while meeting the needs of all learners. They really take a birth to grade 12 approach. And we see, especially here in Whitehall, which tends to be a microcosm of the Lehigh Valley and is often representative of education, we see a lot of varying needs when our students come to us in kindergarten. And we see a lot of gaps where, we have some struggling learners and we have some overachieving learners. And we had a vision here for this space really to meet the needs of, to start with, at least as many of our 4-year-olds in the community as possible. And we know we have some people that can access preschool, pre-K, some people that can't, some people that have, special education needs before kindergarten. So we saw this opportunity as a way to help to continue to grow our community campus here. Whitehall-Coplay School District is housed on one campus. So we are very, very proud of the fact that we can, meet the needs of a diverse community here in one space. As you said, with building the new school, it opened up this building. Originally, the plan was just to use it as an administration building, but we said, hey, what an opportunity for us to leverage a lot of the relationships that we have here, such as the IU, YMCA, CSC. We're looking to fill this building with as many of our youngsters in Whitehall, Coplay, Greater Lehigh Valley, as much as we can. And really, we take an approach of, we care about education. We care about Whitehall first, but we care about education in the Lehigh Valley and Pennsylvania and the U.S. because that's what's going to keep our community strong moving forward. So we saw this as a great opportunity. I mean, early intervention, the needs are ever growing. And really, if we could get as many eyes on our 4-year-olds in our community as possible, it's helpful because, like I said, we need to get kids on the right track, and some students need more support than others. So great opportunity here. We were like, let's capitalize on it. And we have such a strong relationship with the IU, with the leadership over there. We really are proud of what we've been able to create. And we have continued partnerships coming after the IU as well.
The IU mission statement is helping children learn. I like to start this podcast with the flagship question of how does this early learning center help children learn?
Yeah, in every way. And when you first started saying it, I was thinking, how doesn't it help children learn? We have social experiences, we have academic experiences, we have independence opportunities, going all the way back to the very basics of attending and following directions, taking turns, interacting with peers, even just sitting alongside other peers. We also have Bobby Ray, our facility dog, so having some opportunities for some animal interactions and meeting new staff and working collaboratively. This has been such an exciting project for me, just seeing all of these different pieces of our programming come together. And as a lifelong learner myself, I'm excited about how we can continue to grow as an organization and grow our partnerships further with Whitehall and throughout the Lehigh and Carbon counties. It's hard to believe sometimes that some people still don't understand what the CLIU is or what we do or what we stand for.
I see your bus. I see your buses.
There's a lot of buses everywhere.
That's not all we do.
But until you experience us, and get to know us and see what we do for students and their families, we're kind of very behind the scenes. And that's really humbling, but it's also, we do so much for the community and the kiddos and their families that there's really nothing that we don't do that helps children learn at this point.
How many school districts are represented here at the Whitehall facility?
Well, we have 14 in our catchment area between Lehigh and Carbon, and I believe we have at least one student from every Lehigh County.
Wow.
And then we actually do have a couple students that do come from down from Carbon based on the quality of our programming.
Do you think that the central-ish location in Lehigh County helps for this facility?
Absolutely,
it has to,
yeah.
Right?
Part of this project was bringing together 11 classrooms from all over Lehigh County. So
That's the big deal about this.
Yeah. Oh, huge. And it's been a lot of growing pains. A lot of our staff are very veteran. They've been used to kind of just being alone on their own island in a school district setting, just having a classroom, a space, a closet area, and a district building. And now we're all coming together under one roof and figuring out how to all work together and collaborate and get along. But we had 6 classrooms come from Troxel, which is in Parkland School District. 2 classrooms come from Allentown School District. They were at the Newcomer Academy most recently. 1 right here at Steckel Elementary across the campus. Where else? 2 from Coplay Learning Center right down the street. And it's just really exciting to have everybody now under one roof. So we were kind of spattered all over the place. So having Whitehall-Coplay Early Learning Center be kind of centralized to at least Lehigh County, we're really looking to make more of a community. Whereas we have the Carbon ELC, that's, all the Carbon kiddos at one location. And now we're looking to have most of us obviously right here.
And just from a business perspective, it's so much more efficient with transportation.
Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah. Transportation has been easier. Even things like ordering. Yeah. We're always looking at how we order supplies. It used to be Susie Smith gets a box of crayons for her classroom, and then Jimmy Jones gets a box of crayons for his classroom, and they're all going to different places. And now we can just come together and say, what are our building needs? How can we be more fiscally responsible in our ordering?
Yeah, so much more cost effective.
Yeah, cost effective and just more, it's just easier to manage all of those little ins and outs of education. We also have an administrative assistant right on site, which is very new for the CLIU. Dina, shout out to Dina Cox. Yeah, she's been phenomenal, just helping to organize a lot of those procedures and processes. And she's got a very strong background in administrative assisting, and she's able to see on so many different levels what works and what really doesn't work too well. So she's been instrumental in organizing a lot of things, and then also bringing people in and including them on conversations and decisions too.
You were talking about this is a microcosm of the Lehigh Valley. Well, this building in itself is kind of like Whitehall as far as there's not a single building that's high. I think I read 144 acres.
Yeah.
Every single building is here. That must be nice for you as someone you can from your office walk to each building within eyesight.
Yeah. I think in the central administration, currently we're off campus, and it's been a major culture shock for us because we were so used to that ability to, if you need to take care of something at Zephyr, you walk over to Zephyr. So we're about 3 miles up the road right now.
Oh, so that
we are
change.
chomping at the bit to come back because about a third of this building will be the central office. And, that's one of the other things we saw an opportunity. We've got some people at Steckel. We've got some people at the high school. We've got some people at the middle school. We've got people off campus right now. We're going to have all of our central administration in this building in that central hub. And that's one of the other pieces to this building here.
Did I hear that there's another organization using part of this building?
Yeah, actually 2 other.
I didn't know if I was supposed to say. I know was it the YMCA.
YMCA, yeah. We actually just this week advertised they're going to be doing infant to to school age care for
Daycare.
kids in the community, and then CSC, who we partner with for Head Start and Pre-K Counts, will also occupy some of that space. So, like I said, there's options here for really, the whole gambit of services that are needed for students before kindergarten.
And YMCA is iconic.
Oh yeah,
that's just not any other recreational facility.
Right.
That's a national, international organization. How did that approach happen?
Well, honestly, it was just that concept of meeting the needs of our community. The one other piece of the puzzle I would like to see here at some point in time would be some form of healthcare. We have a lot of families who
like
are
St. Luke's, LVHN,
whoever.
Clinic,
I don't
something.
care, as long as they're providing what our students need, because not every one of our kiddos has a medical home.
Yeah.
Not every one of our kiddos has access to good quality medical care. If we send a student home because of an earache, sometimes the parents can't afford to take them to the doctor to get it taken care of. If we have something here on site that matches the needs of the families, heck, we could be a one-stop shop for everything that our students need. So that's our last piece of the puzzle that we're still striving to achieve. And it doesn't necessarily have to be in this building. We've got space on this single campus.
Yeah.
But we are the community center. You come to this place at any time of year, any time of day, it's hopping. And so we love
crossing guards are working hard.
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are. And they are doing their job well. They
I've
do
never
not
seen
let me
such
leave.
a pack of them before.
Yeah, they do not let me leave until every student is safely across the street. They're like, nope, I don't care who you are, where you're going. You are waiting. And I applaud them for that. So.
Yeah, I can't agree more. It's awesome to have everybody here, but that also means that 4,500 students, 700 staff, and then third-party staff are also coming here at the same time and leaving at the same time. It's a zoo, and we need as many eyes on safety as possible.
Absolutely.
Going back to this early learning center, one of the things that because the next podcast I'm hoping to schedule is about, I call them road dogs, and that's our itinerants.
Mm-hmm.
And that's our people who are going to 5 different classrooms, 5 days a week, sometimes multiple classrooms in a day. How nice is that? And seamless of a transition for a teacher to have a student see OT, possibly PT, and speech all in the same day in a nice regimented schedule.
Yeah, it's been great so far. So this was a multi-phase move. Unfortunately, we had these really high hopes of everybody moving in on day one and just being big old family from the start. But due to, various things outside of all of our control, we did have to do it in some baby steps. So classrooms were moved first to ensure that the students that are in our classroom programs had somewhere safe to be on day one of the school year. And our itinerant staff actually just recently moved in within the last couple weeks after our October break. But it has been really nice to see the itinerant spaces being used for play groups and co-treatment and things like that. It is really a one-stop shop at this point. There we go. For a family to drop off their kiddo and they get all of their services in a safe, comfortable area with familiar staff, familiar faces, artwork on the walls, just always warm and always welcoming. So it's been wonderful.
How is that camaraderie and that collaboration? Talk about a teacher, because even though we have the internet and we have cell phones and email, it kind of gets reduced to just that. Instead of being able to walk across the hall. How nice has that been for our teachers to get all of their communication for all of their related services in person?
It did not come without its own challenges because, again, some classrooms were so kind of isolated for so long. They were on their own island in a different school building, and they just relied on their immediate team for support. And as the supervisor bringing all these 11 classrooms together, I had to introduce them to their walkie-talkie, for instance, something so simple. And I said, no, if you need support, you just go right on this walkie-talkie and you call for support. I try to be in the building as often as possible myself. I have a very strong background in education, special education, behavior, development, things like that. And I have no problem just jumping in if I need to with a student or to help, give a staff a bathroom break or what have you. So it was a little tricky at first just to get used to the idea of oh yeah, I'm not by myself anymore. But now we're really coming together as a team. This week we are celebrating Halloween with the kiddos and all the staff have their crayon t-shirts on. And we try to have potlucks whenever. We do have a staff that is expecting. So they have, they had a little baby sprinkle for her. So it's just really nice to bring all of these different people from these different walks of the IU life to one building.
And none of that would have happened before.
No. I mean, there were really great efforts made. The central office was kind of used in that way, and Troxel was one of our bigger centers, but nothing like it is now.
So what I like to ask each of you to finish up this podcast is, we have an anchor question. It's kind of seasonal. So this year's theme is Beyond All Limits. This year's anchoring question for the podcast is, what brings you back every day? For you're really busy, and so are you. As far as the superintendent building up this school district, what brings you back every day? Why keep doing this? Because you are top dog, and that comes with all of its challenges. We know that's not an easy task. Why come back every day?
I think I have two answers to that question. One is, when you get into education, you get into education to help people. And when I was a teacher and a coach, and I wanted to see my athletes get better at practice every day. I wanted to see my students get better at practice every day. And then when I was an administrator, I wanted to see my teachers get a little bit better every day. And now as a leader of leaders, it's, how can I get our administrators to lead a little bit better every day? So it's just, you try to make your mark every day by helping somebody improve and be just a little bit better every day. And the other thing, I think, when you get to the level of, a community leader, when your scope of influence, your sphere of influence is an entire school district, you're just trying to make sure that you're setting up the community for success in the long run. So I feel that this partnership with the IU, the other partnerships that we have within this building, this is going to have generational impact on the Whitehall-Coplay School District and the Greater Lehigh Valley. And, I'm proud of what our team has been able to do. I'm so fortunate that we have such a great relationship with the IU. The leadership over there is amazing. And, I think that we're making this community a little bit better every day by having this place.
Rebecca, why do you keep coming back? You're, in a different position than he is, than Dr. Steckel is, and you're in here bringing all these people together, huge learning curve. What brings you back every day?
So I think you were reading my mind a little bit because, and just as a lifelong learner and educator, I started out as a paraprofessional in New Jersey. Shout out New Jersey. And hey, Dominic's giving me the thumbs down. And I saw the impact that teachers and support staff make in a child's life. And it was in special education. And I wanted to learn more and do more and be a bigger change for a bigger population of students. So I went back to school, became a teacher. I continued up that ladder of excellence. I was a facilitator with the IU for 3 years. And now I'm in a position of a supervisor of special education. But I like seeing the students succeed. I also love seeing the staff succeed. If you can get just one little bit better every day, that's an impact. As long as you're going up, that's an impact. Every small step is a win. And I like it drives me to keep seeing that. So something like this, that was such a huge undertaking and a lot of stressful days. And we probably pulled out about 1 million staples from the walls around here in preparation. But it was all worth it to see how the programming has already been positively impacted by bringing us all under one roof. And just there's nowhere else to go but up. And to also echo a bit of your sentiment there is that our kiddos, our children across the nation are the future of our nation. And if we can help a student succeed in early education, work on those delays, fill in those gaps, that is not to say that they will have any kind of disability, exceptionality, IEP category for the rest of their life. Early intervention is about making the impact early so that they can lead independent, fulfilling lives. So to really be able to work at the level that I do in the IU, and now talking with my colleagues in school age, hey, how can we better align early intervention services with kindergarten services? And how can we work more closely with birth to 3 and early intervention at the preschool level? How can we make more sufficient and efficient impacts for our kiddos all along the journey? And I've taught up to high school as well. And I wonder, what if the kiddos got just that little bit of a better 3 and 4 and 5? How could it have been different for them? Helping parents get access to the resources they need, educating the staff. You don't know what you don't know. And a lot of what I do is informing staff of best practice and what you can do better next time, and just being reflective at all times and just always improving yourself so that you can always be improving your practice.
And in early intervention, ideally, if there's a number one goal for a child, it is to get them back to the district.
Yes.
If possible. And obviously, the earlier, the better.
Yeah.
So having something like this kind of maybe gets them back to Steckel, or what's your K through 1? Or
Gockley. Yeah.
Gockley, get them to K through 2. Get them back to districts as soon as possible. I want to thank you both so much for being on here. Rebecca, for helping get this transition underway, and for you not letting Gockley into a pile of rubble. We really appreciate that. I know it was important. But seriously, thank you for everything that you've done, Dr. Steckel. This has been Season 3, Episode 3 of the Helping Children Learn podcast here at CLIU 21, recording on site at the highly anticipated Whitehall-Coplay Early Learning Center. Thank you both for coming on.
Thank you.